Hello everyone, my name is Cyblox and today I'll be teaching you how to navigate through Roblox Studio and also help you learn a bit of scripting. So in our last tutorial, we learned how to install Roblox Studio, so now we will begin learning how to navigate the studio. Let's start, shall we? So the first thing you will notice when you log into Roblox Studio is the home page. The home page lets you get into your experiences or make new experiences. So if you look to the left, you should see 4 buttons. Each button is labeled as New, My Games, Recent, and Archive. Now usually you would start up the studio on the New page, and what this page is, it allows you to create an experience with any of the given templates. So as you can see, there's the flat terrain template, village template, castle template, suburban city, and many more to choose from. Now it doesn't matter if you pick the village template and you make a game using it, because that's why the template is there, to help you create awesome experiences. To name a few games that use these templates and are famous, we got the Growing Up Simulator, Sonic Chase in one of the levels, and I remember a YouTuber used the Line Runner template to make a very cool game. So as you see, you don't need to create an overly complicated map. As long as your game is fun and you add some creativity to it, people will play it. Anyways, on to the next page, which is the My Games page. Basically, this is where you will go once you open Roblox Studio to go back to the project you left not finished or unfinished. All of your saved games will be there, and you can even find the games that are owned by yours or someone else's group, as long as you have permission to edit the group experiences though. The next page is the Recents page. This one is self-explanatory. It's just all the games that you recently edited. And the final page is the Archive page. This is where all your chosen archived projects will be placed, in case you want to bring them back or something. Anyways, let's go over to the New page and click on Baseplate. Right now, you might have noticed that my screen layout might be a bit different than yours. However, that is fine as long as you have the Explorer and Properties tab open. If you don't have these open, all you gotta do is click on View on the top of your screen and click the 2 buttons, Explorer and Properties. Once you have the 2 tabs open, you can click a Home button on the top of the screen and we can begin. So as you have already noticed, there are 6 buttons on the very top of your screen: Home, Model, Avatar, Test, View, and Plugins. These buttons will help you access certain areas of the studio very quickly. So when the Home button is clicked, it will display all of the basic tools you might use during your session. The 4 most important tools you will see in half of these tabs are Select, Move, Scale, and Rotate. So basically, what these 4 important stuff are. If I put out a part and let's say I wanted to move it around, I would click on the Move. Basically what this allows me to do, it allows me to move the part in X, Y, and Z coordinates. Y, which is green, up and down, blue, which is Z, forward and backwards, and red, which is X, left to right. So yeah, that's a very simple and easy way to move around parts. Also, something like a little side note, if you go to Model, the tab up on the top, and you click, I think it's remove, yeah, you remove the check marks, it allows you to freely rotate or move your object. So like for example, let's say I had move selected, and most likely yours is going to be set to 10, or maybe just 1 actually. So yours is going to be 1 stud, so it allows you to move it like this, and sometimes that might not work for your builds. So all you have to do is either make it to be 0.01 studs or just completely uncheck all of them. It's going to be the same thing for rotate. However, I recommend you leave it checked unless of course you want specific rotation measurements and stuff like that. I'll show you later on, but we're just going to leave it unchecked for now for demonstration. And let's go over to scale. So let's say you wanted to scale your part. That's possible as well. All you have to do is click the scale and select your part, or in the workspace. I'm sorry, in the Explorer. Yeah, in the workspace as well. And then you just move. You scale it with direction X, Y, Z. Again, same thing with moving. So you got X, Z, and Y. So let's say you wanted to rotate your part now. All you have to do, same thing again, rotate. But remember how I uncheck rotate? So basically, this allows me to rotate it freely, wherever I want. But if you wanted to do specific rotations or just want to flip it upside down without having any complications, you could check rotate and make it to be 30 degrees so that it does like this. Or actually, if you put 10, you have more options on how you want to rotate it, but still pretty precise. But I just leave it at 30. Or you could edit it through the properties, which is down here. Basically, the properties is all the properties of your parts, the color, the material. I could change the material from plastic to metal, and from metal maybe to, let's do asphalt. And let's say we want to change the color up a bit, so let's just do green. Now you got a green block. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if you want to change the rotation or position or scale, it's right over here. And if you want to do it even precisely, just click on that little arrow. It's going to give you the exact measurements for X, Y, and Z. So let's say you want it to be scaled by 10 on the X. It's going to be scaled like that. And for Y, let's say you want it to be 3, a little more upwards. And Z, forward backwards, let's say 10 again. Perfect. You got yourself a nice square. Transform is basically all of those stuff, but in a more complex kind of way. So it's pretty much the exact same thing. You can rotate it, you can move it around, stuff like that, scale it even. But it's just, I guess, more advanced tools or all in one place if you don't want to keep switching. And select basically means you can just drag, click it anywhere you want. It's not really the best way of movement though, so I'd recommend you just use move and uncheck this. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm going to show you is the output section. So basically the output, you can see the output section if by going to view and click output. You might already have it on your computer or window, so you don't have to get it, but if you don't, then just click view and output. So over here, as you can see, we have the output. This basically will give you any error messages, or it will print out what you want to print. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. So let me just pull out a script. We can put it anywhere, but for now, let's just put it in script service. It's going to be running for the entire server. So yep, we can just, actually no, we can keep that. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is what printing is. Basically, whatever is inside of these, I think they're called, yeah, whatever's inside of these quotation marks, they're going to be printed onto the output. So basically, printing, going to be printing this string. String is basically a line of text, always followed by quotation marks, and you can put numbers and stuff like that inside, but for now it says print hello world, so when we run the game, it will print out hello world. So let's play it. And as you can see, it says hello world. Now printing can be used for lots of things like debugging, testing out your stuff, and maybe testing out errors as well. I don't know. So a cool way of using printing is we can print out. You touch this part whenever we touch this green block right here. The way we're going to do that, we're going to go into the script. I removed print hello world because we're going to be doing a new thing. I'll be teaching you how to script it later on in this series, but for now I'll just do it in. So game.workspace.part, which is the name of the part in the Explorer, .touch, this is an event, and we're going to connect that to a function, and the function inside, we're going to call this one hit. That shows that that's basically like what the part that's being, the part that's touching the part, and in here we're going to do if hit. Actually, so what I'm going to explain what this is right now. So right now we're going to see if hit.name is equal to something specifically. Let's say we want it to be the right hand. So then we would put right hand. But let's say we want to know what part is specifically touching the part. So I'm just going to print in here, you touched the part. So right now we're just going to figure out what is touching the part. So do print and hit.name. So what this is doing, it's going to be printing everything that is touching the part, like the name of it. So when we join, it should say baseplate because first of all it's touching the baseplate, and when we touch it, It's going to give us all of those, and that's perfect. Now we can work with this. So I usually always use the right hand because, you know, the animations are always either going to be left hand or right hand going forward more. So yeah, that's how I do it. But you can use lower torso, upper torso, whatever floats your boat. So right now we know what's touching it, and it can be handle, it could be left lower leg, upper torso, and stuff like that. But for now, we're gonna use right hand, and that's part of the character's body. So we can just remove this, and that's just showing you how you can use print. You can check it out. You can check out certain names of stuff and other things like that. So right now, if hit.name is equal to right hand, and it's going to print you touch this part. So let's test this out. So we walk over to it. We want to make sure the right hand is touching it, not the left, because if the left hand's touching it, nothing's going to happen. And as you can see, it says you touched the part. That's because the right hand touched it, and there you go. It says X4, X3, X2 because he touched it that many times. And that's how you can use printing for that. Pretty cool, huh? Another cool way you can use printing is for testing out stuff or math. Let me show you how this works. So, like, for example, let's do print, and let's say you wanted to figure out what 5 times 5 is. So you do 5 times 5. Now, this symbol is for times. You don't put X. X won't work. You want to put this. Usually you'd find it by holding shift, or actually, no, you have to hold shift and press the number pad 8, not the one on the right side of your keyboard, but on the top, where it gives you a list from 1 to 0, and the F1, F2 keys for Windows. So, yeah, hold shift 8, and that's your multiplication sign. So right now, it should print out 25. And whoop-de-doo, it does. It prints out 25 because that's what 5 times 5 is. You can also print out booleans. Booleans are basically true or false. Now, don't actually write it like that when you're doing your scripting because that's going to be a big error. But we can do this. Print true. And we're going to do print false. It's going to print both of them. I have a little idea that I'm going to be doing after this. Like right after this little clip. Alright, here it goes. As you can see, it prints true, it prints false, and yeah, just give me 1 second to remember how to do this. So, another cool thing you can do with printing is you can print out variables. So, I'm going to get to variables in another tutorial lesson, but I'm just going to show you what a variable is. Basically, it's local, and you put any text. We're going to put my variable, and that's your variable right there. Anything inside of it is going to be anything that is after the equal sign. You can mention all that stuff by just saying the first word, which is my variable. So let's put 5 times 5. Actually, that might not. No, actually, let's just put a number. So let's do 100. Yeah. And let's do another one, local my variable 2 equals 200. But let's print out my variable. Basically, it's going to be printing out 100. And there you go, prints out 100. And you can also do math with variables. So you can do, my variable 1 plus my variable 2. And it should print 300. And there you go. As you can see, it prints 300. Ain't that awesome? Alright guys, so one more cool thing before I end off the video is I'm going to show you how you can check to see whether or not your math is true or false. So let's say you wanted to see whether or not 5 times 6 equals either 25 or 30. Let's say you're doing some test and that's one of your questions. I'm just kidding, don't cheat using Roblox Studio. But you can do that, you can check. The way how you would do it is, let's say you think that 100 plus 200 equals 400. So all you have to do to test it out, put 2 equal signs. That means it's gonna see if that is the correct answer. So like my variable plus my variable 2, is it equal to 400? That's basically what it's checking. And it should print out false when I start the game. And as you can see, it prints out false right here because 100 plus 200 does in fact equal 300. So when I put that there, it should print 300. There you go. You can do stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something along the way. And just for a little fun bonus, kind of like a game, if you join my Discord server, which there will be a link to in the description below, you can go over to Roblox Studio Projects and you can do a project. So basically what the projects are is, in every tutorial series, I'll try to give a project for the things you've learned, and you'll be posting them over here. Make sure to follow this little guideline on how to post your projects. But yeah, so for today's project, I was thinking maybe you guys could show me cool ways how you can use printing. So basically take advantage of printing however you want. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys' projects. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you'll come back for another episode. And with that, I'm off. See you later, guys.